The Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake was announced, and here's 10 things I'd love to see added to the game. More in-depth medical system. Metal Gear Solid 3's medical system was an interesting idea, but it didn't have a huge impact on the game. First aid supplies were never in short supply, and any ailment was quickly taken care of. To have Snake's ouchies and boo-boos play a more dynamic role, I'd love to see buffs and negative status effects depending on the injury or illness. Maybe broken legs give temporary speed reductions, or a dislocated shoulder unsteadies the aim. If you have cuts that aren't treated, crawling around in the mud or swimming in water causes an infection. Anything more than just a missing sliver of health. Cosmetic reactions to injuries would also be a lot of fun, like how you could see the arrow sticking out of Snake during the Fear fight. I'd love to see Snake's face get a little charred after getting burned. Ecological collections. Killing animals for food is a Metal Gear Solid 3 staple, but Phantom Pain proved that saving animals can be just as fun as feasting on them. I'd love for Paramedic to ask Snake to capture different animals for research. It doesn't have to make sense how Snake stores it. It could make for a great achievement and prompt some fun dialogue. There'd be Paramedic's Jungle Ecology book to review from the main menu. When you send her an animal, you unlock that animal's page, which is full of information. Because Metal Gear is full of opportunities to learn and have fun. Cutscenes that blend into gameplay. Cutscenes are at the heart and soul of a Metal Gear game, but the past of entering some cutscene trigger then the screen fading to black to start the cutscene is over. Phantom Pain was able to integrate its cutscenes and gameplay flawlessly. It's hard to tell where the cutscenes ends and the gameplay begins. Going back to the traditional method would just feel dated. Quicker menuing. Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the greatest and slowest entries in the Metal Gear Solid series. That slowness is pretty much all thanks to its menuing. From changing what's in your backpack to eating, to changing your camo every time you crawl 6 inches, the menuing can take up a lot of time. In 2023, there has got to be some way of streamlining the menus. I don't want to see another Octosuit that automatically camouflages the user, but maybe having some recommended camouflage and face paint that's easily accessible through the D-pad would speed up the process. Or a system where Snake automatically eats something when his stamina drops below half. Anything to save me from opening the menu 100 times per playthrough. More immersive jungle. One of Metal Gear Solid 3's main selling points was the jungle location that Snake would have to overcome, but that aspect never really lived up to the hype. Besides a handful of crocs and some mean billy goats, the wildlife seems pretty tame. Let's expand on the wild animal concept, like how wild dogs attack Snake in Phantom Pain. There's so much room for creativity. Maybe monkeys try to alert guards to your presence by throwing fruit at you. Or there's a mega chonk boss croc in one of the bodies of water. Maybe Signet can even give you some side ops big game hunting missions, I don't know. I just don't want the animals to simply be for Snake's dinner. Ride the boss's horse. Now this one's a stretch, but D-Horse was so much fun in Phantom Pain. Maybe after you defeat the boss, there's an action section where you just have to ride our horse to where the wig has already started off down the lake. I'm picturing something like the ski jet section at the end of Resident Evil 4, just one last dose of adrenaline before you duel with Ocelot. Post-game content. This has never really been Metal Gear Solid's forte, but I'd love to see some extra content after beating the game. It can be as simple as those exercises in Substance, or as silly as the Snake Tales. But what I'd ultimately love to see is an extra side mission that covers what Eva did during the story. Maybe she clears out that lab where you find Sokolov that first night. She has to sneak up the mountain to meet up with Snake before the Fury fight. It's a chance for Eva to tell her story. Metal Gear Solid 3 did have Snake vs. Monkeys, so maybe. In-game store. I don't want this game to be full of microtransactions, but some sort of reward shop where you spend in-game currency to unlock special weapons or skins would be awesome. Sort of like the Capcom store in the recent Resident Evil remakes. I want to stress that you would earn in-game currency by completing in-game challenges, not with actual money. This could be a place to purchase Metal Gear Solid staples like the infinite ammo bandana and the stealth camouflage, as well as skins and unique weapons. Think of the possibilities. There's the obvious Patriot, but then go as far as Fortune's railgun, the Nikita missile, and even a ninja sword because why not? Even if it doesn't reach those extreme of heights, a reward store definitely encouraged replayability. Loadless zones. It's 2023. Obvious load zones were needed in 2004, but I think we've made enough strides in 20 years. Having a seamless transition from location to location will really heighten the immersion. Tree frog drug crafting. Sometimes you feed on a tree frog, right? Imagine catching different colored frogs throughout the game and being able to make different elixirs from the poison. Increased steadiness from aiming, a dulled palate making some foods regenerate more stamina since Snake can't taste it. There could be as many status effects as there are colors, but then you could even kick it up a notch and even mix colors for more extreme effects. And not all the effects can be good. Combine two wrong colors and maybe your vision gets dulled or Snake suffers from nausea. But maybe even the ones with the more positive effects can have a negative side effect later. If there's anything like tree frog drug crafting, there has got to be some secret white tree frog hidden in the flower field where you fight the boss. Something like this would really open the players to be creative. Skullface Easter egg. Canonically, Skullface is supposed to follow Naked Snake and clean up after him during the Virtuous mission and Operation Snake Eater. I'd love an Easter egg where if you backtrack enough to certain parts of the game, you'll catch a small glimpse of Skullface hiding a body or something. What's on your Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake wishlist?